Hey everyone, it's 2025. I've learned a lot this year already. Fun-sized candy bars generally are the least fun of all the sizes, even minis. And much like a fun-sized candy bar, this might seem fun. The idea of setting up some zoom pedals, the new ones, right? It might seem like a real fun idea to like set up MIDI with the zoom pedals through some stuff. It's not fun, but I figured it out. And that's something else I learned. I like components. I've always liked the component stereo system. I never liked those all-in-one things. I never wanted a TV with a VCR and a radio in it. Because if it breaks, you have no VCR, you got no TV, you got no radio. If your multi-effect unit, if everything is all in one and you're relying on that thing and it breaks, you got nothing, you got no drives, you got nothing. The other thing that I've learned is turning this thing on is a fucking crapshoot. I think I'm far enough into the video where I can say the F word, and you very rarely hear me say that on this channel. Why can't we have MIDI standards yet? It's 2025. We realize that fun-sized candy bars suck and that MIDI standards are horrible in the guitar community. Anyway, I'm going to turn this on and I'm going to say 3,000 prayers that every little bit of it works the way that I want it to, because when it does work, it's awesome. Controlling this and then controlling this, trying to figure out how to do all that with this m-vave Chocolat Plus has been a real pain in the I've messed it up enough times and refigured it out enough times. I have found two pieces of gear that work well. But any Android phone, you install MIDI Chief and you're going to be able to do this. Now, the latest MIDI Chief update has some really wild looking AToneX stuff in it. I'll put a little video link right here if you want to get caught up to speed with controlling the AToneX One with MIDI Chief, because until IK Multimedia unlocks this guy via USB MIDI, we're really kind of stuck with doing interfacey type things. And it's the same thing as this Zoom units. These Plus units, they're a real pain in the butt. First off, to see this screen, sorry, apologies. But they're a real pain to kind of get going with something simple. So my goal was simple, small board. These multi-stomps by Zoom had a great reputation for being able to be controlled and having all sorts of options. So I figured these Plus ones would be pretty cool. Right now, the only thing you can do is send patch changes or PC codes. So I had to kind of think my way through how I wanted to do this in conjunction with the AToneX One. This phone, literally $50 Android phone. I'm going to go ahead and actually close this app because all of this is quirky as hell. Other than this guy right here, of course I covered it up, but this is the disaster area. Yes, I have this. This guy under here is the disaster area micro.ghost. And this, literally, you just plug in the MIDI cable, MIDI out, you go into the Cube Suite app, and you make sure to tell it that that is going to be sending MIDI, not being a control pedal like an expression pedal. And then that MIDI goes right into the MIDI in of the micro.ghost, which is right there. And then there's USB host. So what does that mean? That means that this is now going to decipher MIDI into a USB format that the Zoom pedal can read, okay? So I'm plugged directly into this Zoom Multistomp, and as you can see, USB is changing patches here for me, okay? But obviously, I'm not able to change this, and I'm not changing this one right now because I don't have MIDI Chief running. So let's do that real quick. This is where things always get a little bit funky. This is great. So far, micro.ghost. I have one more thing coming that's going to be kind of like one of these guys that I'm hoping will control all three of these, so I can get rid of the phone. I can't get the hub. Like, I have all sorts of USB hubs. I can't get any USB hub to work out of the micro.ghost. I probably could with the phone, but just using the micro.ghost, it's working well. So I figured I would at least give you guys the demo of that, how quickly it was working. So boom, like literally USB-C cable adapted over to USB, whatever that is, USB-A. And then I also have a USB-C split. So this is one male USB-C that plugs into the phone, and it's going to a couple of female USB-C breakouts here that then I have male-to-male cables going from this Y over to the AToneX One and then over to the other Zoom Multistomp. Le piece de resistance to control the two of these is this MIDI Chief app, because as I said, I haven't been able to find a USB hub that works well with the micro.ghost. If you are using a micro.ghost from Disaster Area and you have had good experience with the USB hub sending the USB host USB information out to multiple devices, please let me know what device you're using. I would love to know. Maybe somebody watching would like to know too. So your comments are appreciated. And of course, if you enjoy this channel, like, subscribe, do all that kind of stuff that they say to do. Open the Cube Suite app and make sure that the phone is seeing the foot control, or in this case, the foot control plus. And now if I touch that, I will have control over it. You can see I'm just using program change A. Now that just means that it's sending one button press. It's always going to just send one command. There's other options I've checked out. They're in that video link that I left earlier. I'll also make sure to leave a couple of videos at the end of this video kind of going over the AToneX MIDI Chief thing. But literally, there's no video to make about the micro.ghost. You connect a USB, you connect MIDI, and boom, this is all working. I am in host mode, but that doesn't matter because I'm not using this. I do have Bluetooth connected to the phone. And I have a USB-C cable now connected to a Y that is going to the AToneX, and it's going over to this Zoom Multistomp. This is our setup. We can see that in my device output section, I have MIDI selected and cable. I'm looking at the Zoom Corporation Zoom MS Plus Series, and it's very important that I see the MIDI 1.0. So the other thing that you have to kind of do here is go to the patches, and you have to, I deleted the patches that were there. It defaulted to 2 button pushes to change AToneX with the m-vave, even though I didn't have it set within the Cube Suite software to use 2 button pushes. So it was blowing my mind. I have just the default group. I have edited it, the one patch that's in here. I have made sure that what I'm seeing is the Foot Control Plus, and then I'm also seeing the Zoom Corporation MIDI and the AToneX One MIDI as outputs. Everything below there, I make an asterisk. You see, those are asterisks. So the controller is always going to be seeing any of those commands from 1 to 128. And then I have program change 1 to 0 here on the Zoom Corporation. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to close this again. And I'm going to go all the way back to home screens. Let's see what we got. This is where we pray. This is where I try to plug in. Okay, this is what we want. I want to see that. That means that MIDI Chief is seeing AToneX at the very least. And if my patch is working properly, my input is recognized, and my 2 outputs are recognized, that means I'll be able to send MIDI commands. Now, I recommend if you don't want to have all sorts of double button presses, that in that group section, you go ahead and delete what's there. It's not going to let you delete one of them because it actually has patches assigned to it. So you go into the patches section and make sure that you delete all of those and create a patch that looks like this. I don't want to move my phone too much because I don't want to disconnect, because it looks like when I go to live mode, I have green, green, green. So I'm connected. Yay! And now when I press this, I'm changing patches. Yeah, I'm changing patches on the AToneX One and the Zoom through MIDI Chief. And you can see What's really cool now is the update for the MIDI Chief is reflecting the colors in the app that I have here. And then if I touch this selection here from the live screen, look at all this stuff that it's seeing here. This works here, the volume and the input trim actually all works from the phone. So we have a little bit of a live editor going on here. You know, you can also mess with the tuning mode, a couple of other different things within here. So that's great. I really like that, you know. And of course, you can sit here and touch this and touch this and touch this. We can also hit this read from pedal. It will then read all of the names of the captures. And that's really cool when you get back to your main page. After it reads everything, you hit apply and it sends you back to your live page. And now as I'm changing through things, you can see I can now see the name of the patch that I'm looking at. And as well, hit that tap tempo. And this was one of the things that I had discussed in another video, but I kind of forgot. So once you hit the tap tempo, there is a new change to this. It doesn't seem to require 5 inputs anymore from the Cube suite. It will turn the D button, will now only be able to access 3 patches, A, B, and C. It turns the D button into a tap tempo switch. And I think it's after 3 of them. Yeah, after 3, it's going to tell us, it's going to display that tap tempo. And then we go back over here and we're still changing patches. And then you can easily turn that off. And then we're back to patch 4. You can always reject a fun size candy bar in lieu of 3 minis. And we have now learned that by hitting tap tempo, that makes the m-vave default program setting your tap tempo switch. Hey, how about that crap, huh? But yeah, when you turn it off, it now is letting me send patch 4 over to here instead of being a tap tempo. Are you following me? I hope somebody just learned something there through all of my incoherent, coffee-filled ramblings. That's really all I wanted to show you. And I want to tease the next video by saying that I finally captured some of my amplifiers. First off, if you're a Jimmy's Chicken Shack fan, this was my Jimmy's Chicken Shack amp for a number of years, and it was on the Bring Your Own Stereo record. I've captured a couple of my favorite tones from here, and I've created some settings that I really like within the IK Multimedia AToneX software to kind of get you into the ballpark of what I would do with the capture. Because with the AToneX stuff, remember, there's captures and then there's presets. So I'm putting my captures up on the AToneX website. You log into the My AToneX, whatever it is. You get to their site and do what they tell you to do, and you get on their pedal and you can select stuff. Do the online thing. I don't know what it's called. They don't pay me. I've captured some of my favorite amp sounds from the Laney to the Soldano to the Boss, okay? Pushed bloom setting, really cool out of here. A couple of other heavy settings from here and a couple of clean settings, a couple of Laney settings. bunch of captures. I think it's 10 captures so far, all using the Mesa cab clone. And because I love you guys and you've watched this far into the video, if you want me to turn them into Tank G captures, which you could use in your Tank G or your Mini Tank or even your Black Box by any of the companies, the Playwell or m-vave, Lakato, all sorts of companies make the thing that you can use the and capture profiles for. We're far into this video and I appreciate you watching and I appreciate you having been here for a long time. You may have even found me through the Tank G. I don't want you to feel left out. Do you want me to make some of these captures Tank G captures? Make sure you subscribe, like this video if you are liking the fact that fun size candy bars are not good and that MIDI Chief has a cool update and that this guy right here, this works, okay? If you're looking for a way to control your zoom pedals, this will control, so far one of them, maybe somebody knows of a hub. Like I said, please leave that comment below. Man, okay, I'm trying to make this a quick-ass video, and here I've been recording for who knows how long, 20 minutes, good grief. Okay, I'm going to try to turn this into a 10-minute video, but I don't know. I don't know. I'm going to try.